Google just announced some shocking new AI features that are going to revolutionize Google Ads and search engine optimization as we know it. Part 2 of this episode is we're also going to talk about ChatGPT, which has just surpassed 1 billion daily queries. And I'm going to discuss what that means for you in the content marketing and as an entrepreneur, what that means for you. And then I am also going to cover a absolutely disastrous marketing campaign, and you're going to want to stick around for that. Welcome back to the Lifestyle Entrepreneur Podcast. I am, of course, your host, Mark. This is the podcast and show where we build life-giving businesses, not soul-sucking. So if you want to learn how to market and grow a business that is life-giving, not soul-sucking, then subscribe here, and I'm welcome to have you to the channel or the podcast on Spotify, wherever you're listening to this. So part 1 of this video, I really want to talk about ChatGPT. So you can see here in this brand new data and beautiful visualization from Visual Capitalist, which is showing that ChatGPT has just reached a new milestone of 1 billion daily queries. And by the way, these queries are happening 5 times quicker than Google. Now you probably don't realize that because things happen so fast that like a Google search is, basically as fast as a ChatGPT query. And in my opinion, when I put something into ChatGPT, it actually takes longer to give me a response than Google does. But alas, apparently it's 5 times faster. Now here's the thing, right? Is that we're looking at this graph here. You can see that, yeah, by all means, 1 billion daily queries is a lot. But if we put this into comparison, Yahoo.com gets more than ChatGPT daily queries. LinkedIn, Pinterest, Google Play, the App Store, YouTube, Amazon, Reddit almost gets as much as that. So those are still in the 1 to 2 billion daily queries range. If we look at Google, Google still sits on top as king. I know if you're browsing Instagram or TikTok, you are probably going to see a lot of people who are saying SEO is dead, Google search queries are down for the first time in 20 years, and all that stuff is, maybe true, but a lot of it is just fear mongering. Because if you look at the king still has not 2 times more daily queries, not 3 times more, not 5 times more, not 7 times more, not 8 times more, not 10 times more. They have 13 times more daily searches than ChatGPT does. So please, when you are browsing social media and short form content, right now, as of summer of 2025, you can ignore all of the people fear-mongering saying that SEO is dead. Make no mistake, SEO is still king. Google itself is still king. And second behind that, I would honestly even say YouTube is king, because YouTube actually, this data looks a little bit off to me. I've seen over 4 billion daily queries on YouTube. So YouTube is definitely in that like top 3 conversation, but still, if I were to come here and tell you, hey, let's do the Pareto principle, the 80-20 rule, right? Which is like, hey, 80% of your results come from 20% of your efforts. If you're looking at platforms, still, Google will provide you with those essentially like 90% of the results from the one platform. So if I was an entrepreneur who's struggling, who's stuck at 6 figures a year, I would focus on Google and maybe YouTube. Those would be like my top 2 focuses for high intent marketing. Yes, Snapchat and LinkedIn and Instagram get a lot of searches as well, but you all know the Instagram game. You've probably been burnt out from Instagram, which is why you might be watching my channel here. And if you're not subscribed, you should subscribe, because I teach you how to grow a business without posting 10 times a day on social media. But now I do want to context this, because myself personally, I have actually been getting leads from ChatGPT. I've had sales calls booked for our content marketing services that say source chatgpt.com, which has been really exciting. This is also happening for our clients too. We had mortgage brokers, some consultants, and even lawyers actually get bookings from ChatGPT. So here's what I'm seeing on our client services side of things. I'm actually seeing clients getting leads from ChatGPT because they are doing the right search engine optimization things. If we think about search engines, ChatGPT is a type of search engine. You can call it an AI engine or whatever you want to call it, an LLM, it doesn't matter. The fact is, ChatGPT is trying to pull a page from Google's playbook, which is saying, hey, Google, you have this incredible ad product, Google Ads, which prints money for you as a business. My theory is that ChatGPT is gearing up for a Google Ads-like product. I am absolutely going to jump on it when it does, and I will absolutely share that with you when that does happen. So make sure you're subscribed to me on YouTube or follow me on Instagram at MoneyWithMark. Now, how does ChatGPT do this? To start, ChatGPT does this by allowing products and allowing services and allowing businesses to start to get featured organically. That's what made Google king, was that all of these companies and products started getting sales from Google for free. And then as Google started to grow in popularity, then they started saying, hey, if you want to pay for this too, you can come pay for this. And they slowly made ads more prevalent in their search results than the organic content. And so that is probably what ChatGPT is going to do as their playbook because it works so well. You can already create LLMS.txt files for your website, in which if you don't know how to do that, then you should join the Autogrowth Academy, where I teach you high intent marketing strategies that grow your business without requiring you to post 10 times a day on social media. So you can join the Autogrowth Academy if that interests you, where I'll actually be sharing things like how to create an LLMS.txt file for your website. That allows you to get picked up by these AI bots like Claude, Perplexity, and ChatGPT, and displayed your products and your content and reference you as the face, the founder-led brand in their search results and in their query results. And so they'll say things like, hey, you are inquiring about SEO. You should talk to Mark from the Autogrowth Academy. So that's how things are starting to play out. And ChatGPT also has a place where you can upload your products to them, because now ChatGPT has product features similar to Google Shop. So this is very obvious if you're looking at this from a high level, that ChatGPT is taking a page out of Google's playbook, similar to how Google basically took a page out of ChatGPT's playbook earlier by creating their own AI chatbots and also AI overviews now. So these two companies, I believe, are going to be more and more similar than not in the future. And to put this on a graph, by the way, too, this is what the graph looks like. Daily searches on ChatGPT versus Google. Now, again, I recommend as an entrepreneur who wants to work less and live more to focus on the big behemoth. Get the free traffic from here, because that is honestly the biggest land grab that we have right now, where really with traditional SEO, the big behemoths of SEO that made their money from SEO are failing. And Google is preferring founder-led brands and content creators because they are now competing with more social media platforms. And so they are trying to actually integrate more content creators and YouTubers specifically in their search results. I even saw this in the recipe area, which, by the way, the recipe area in Google has been like extremely saturated for a very long time, having the big companies like AllRecipes and food.com dominate when you're looking for things like a croissant recipe. But just last week, I saw that there's this girl, this content creator, Jessica, who creates these viral videos on Instagram and on TikTok of her like opening up her big bowl of croissant mix and dumping it out. And she has a website and a blog. And if you were to look at the search results and just look for this, like croissant recipe, I think is what it's called. And you can see that Jessica, this relatively small blog, has no business ranking for a croissant recipe. It's such a competitive keyword, but yet she is. Her domain rating is like 10% low, or like 10% of what anyone else has, like 90% lower. So by all means, this is the biggest indicator ever that Google is content hungry for not the boring recipes from these big brands or the boring content from these big brands, and they are focusing on content creators, people who are founder-led brands. We've also seen this with our ESG consultant, one of our customers, Lindsay, where she now has a small firm of less than 10 people, but ranks above Bain, McKinsey, EY, and Deloitte in the US and in places in Canada where people are searching for ESG consultant, EcoVadis consultant, all of her keywords that she's targeting. Why? Because she puts her face on video, she has search optimized content, And it's not this fluffy, like, we help you streamline optimization. It's not this unhelpful content from big brands that have a strong domain rating. It's unique and actual helpful content from people for people. And that's the key to SEO success. And that's also going to be the key to AI optimization success in the future. Next in this episode is what's new with Google. Google Ads just had their big announcement at Google Marketing Live 2025. It was fantastic. You should go and watch the 15-minute overview. A lot of new things coming out, specifically with their ad platform as well. So they have things now called the Power Pack, which I'm not exactly sure how this is going to look like in practice now. They have AI search in marketing coming up here, where there's more AI overviews, and there's also going to be AI chat that happens in search results now, that you can like chat back and forth with people, not just getting an AI overview. And really looking at managing their YouTuber creators. They're really focusing on YouTube right now because they know that's their like social media kind of side of Alphabet, the parent company. And the future of creative, this has me really, really excited, but also makes me question a little bit on like what's going to happen in marketing, because basically Google Ads is going to be rolling out this tool that tons of people are going to jump on, and it's going to do really well in the short term. It's basically like you upload your assets, like your images, your photos of your products, and then there's in-app AI content creation that will like turn a photo of your coffee beans into like a viral, beautiful video that you can then use in your Google Ads and YouTube ads. Now, I think this is great for Alphabet as a company. It basically turns their ad content into like more engaging and attractive content. More so than, people just being left to their own devices to create kind of boring or stale content. But I think this is going to get saturated very fast. We can already see it with like big brands who just have, like you think about the fashion industry, all the models are pretty much the same. All of the videos are like pretty much the same. Like you can't really differentiate between different brands necessarily. They all have beautiful photos and, their own slight look. So you have to ask yourself as a marketer, how do I stand out in the crowd of AI generated content, of AI generated ads? And in my opinion, the single best way is by having you, the founder, a personal brand. That's why I have this YouTube channel, my channel, Mark Taylor, that has the Autogrowth Academy as my behind the scenes business that, essentially funds all of this content creation. But I believe that the person to person connection is going to be what differentiates you in a world of AI. Correct me if I'm wrong, let me know down in the comments. And now if you want to understand how to get leads from AI or stand out with high intent marketing where you don't have to run ads and you don't have to post 10 times a day on social media, then join the waitlist for the Autogrowth Academy. It's our community on School where you will get access to all of my courses and also stay accountable to your goals for growth as an entrepreneur. We have live weekly hangouts where you can then share your accountability goals, and we even give away cash every single month to the members in our community. So join now, and I will see you inside the Autogrowth Academy. And now for my favorite segment, marketing campaign disasters. This is a new segment, something I want to start sharing. I don't know if I'm going to have enough content for this, but I'm hoping I will. But this government, provincial government of New Brunswick, a super small place in Canada, wins a National Government Waste Award. And you might be asking, well, what did they waste money on? Well, the New Brunswick Tourism Department decided to spend nearly 6 figures on taking them to a European vacation where they went to England and France and Ireland and Scotland. And they got to form partnerships with all these European tourism companies because they decided that, hey, instead of trying to convince UK and French people to, go to Italy or the Amalfi Coast or Greece or the French or Spanish Riviera, I think they should go to New Brunswick, Canada. So their whole initiative here was to say, hey, we're going to go get new tourists from Europe, from the UK and France to come to New Brunswick. Now, as a marketer, you're probably looking at that and saying that seems ridiculous. That is a really, really hard ask. It's probably going to be a waste of money off the bat. Probably. But here's what makes it worse. The ads that they went running were showing incorrect information. They were showing things like the capital is St. John's, which is not the case. They are saying, hey, come to the biggest city, which is St. John's. Also not the case. But that isn't even the hard part. But that isn't even the worst part. The worst part gets like much worse. They are also telling people to come and visit a zoo that shut down years ago, to come and visit a museum that hasn't been open in 2 years, to come and visit all of these tourist attractions that, let's be frank, are way less exciting than anywhere in Europe. But they were honestly showing all these tourist attractions that were closed down or essentially not available for people to come and visit. So it was absolutely riddled with errors. And then when they asked these politicians on, hey, are we going to like issue corrections or like what's the recourse here? They basically just said like they haven't had a meeting about it, and that's kind of that. So they claim that they had like more tourism because they compared their 2023 and 2024 numbers from 2021, 2022, when the province was shut down for COVID reasons. And of course, your tourism numbers are going to look better. So in my opinion, I think they just basically got like a 6-figure European vacation on the taxpayer dime and disguised it as like a marketing campaign. But this was a complete and utter disaster. That's it for this episode of the Lifestyle Entrepreneur Show, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.